Okay. I just, for those of you who aren't familiar, Iowa Parole Board, they are the most incompetent, dangerous, I like to think psychopathic. There's something wrong with this parole board. But the one who really takes the cake for, I don't know, just maybe in my opinion, being a few short of a full set is Mr. Moses. And it's his word salads that are just absolute nuts. So what I did is I took just 3 parole hearings that happened yesterday. So I'm not nitpicking from the last year of parole hearings because I would like to do that, but I took just the 3 parole hearings that happened yesterday and I went through, I spent like 10 minutes just grabbing snippets. I put it in here and I'm going to watch it with you. There might be even some duplicates because I didn't invest a lot of time making sure there's not. So if we go through that, we'll go through that. But let's watch Mr. Moses and let's just try to make sense of this. Okay, here we go. The Honorable Parole Board, handpicked by the governor of Iowa.
Hear you say, I believe. What part of it, of you, was your, understanding or plan or sharing with Jordan and the other person?
I don't understand the question.
Right, so getting started.
It's not the first time when even they don't understand the question. You're in bad shape. Okay.
Can you give us what took place, what was going on with you that led to you being incarcerated?
Can you tell us what looked in place that led to you being? It's just like, why are you incarcerated? It's just that simple. You've been doing this for like a year. It's like he doesn't care. He does not care because it's a little bit of effort. Anyways, sorry.
I also like, even though one of my favorite questions to ask people is the values, and I didn't get what your values were, but I got a kind of an understanding of what some of your values are. So it was nice to hear you say that you have some. How you doing this morning?
You can't make it. Am I the only one that thinks? I need to hear that again. Hold on. Oh my God.
So like, even though one of my favorite questions to ask people is the values, and I didn't get what your values were, but I got a kind of an understanding of what some of your values are. So it was nice to hear you say that you have some.
Sorry. I'm not losing it. I have a weird sense of humor. If you don't think this is funny, but I remember Moses, every single parole hearing, he does a word salad. I would like you to tell me what your values are now that you've been and he had this. It's nice to hear you have some values. This is a freaking parole hearing. What are you saying? Okay, we'll go.
You doing this morning, Ms. Craig?
I'm good.
That's good. My one question to you, having to complete the 321J program and getting some classes and groups to help better you today than you were yesterday. If you were to characterize who Terry Craig is today, then from what we knew or didn't know of Ms. Craig in the past, what could you tell us about Terry Craig today as you potentially prepare for transitioning to this new employment and future endeavors, if that makes sense?
That does not make any sense, Moses. Like, what the hell are you saying, bro? Yeah, I'm telling argue, and the hardest part, me and Richard, we say this all the time. We're like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It takes like courage to go into the Iowa parole hearings. And when Moses talks, I put it on 4x, and it's still slow. What are you saying? Like, dude, you realize, like, if you do this for a living, you talk to people for a living, wouldn't you know how to at least be like concise? What is wrong with you? I feel bad for his coworkers because they're idiots too, but at least they don't do the word salad thing. Imagine if you had to work with someone. The governor of Iowa, who by all accounts is a very competent woman, and I think she's what, 2-term, and like I haven't done research on her, but from what what is there any way she knows that her state is being represented by this? What does she answer? I don't know if we cut it.
Having to experience new endeavors is always going to be always going to provide that newness in terms of what's the unknown. So I appreciate you sharing that because in terms of what's the unknown. So if that makes sense. Having to experience new endeavors is always going to be always going to provide that newness in terms of what's the unknown. So I appreciate you sharing that because in your comments, I can hear it in you. Some of that work that you have been a part of. And I can see sometimes some difficulty in terms of, that pride that you said that you struggled with, being able to share that amongst individuals, just the sharing alone from your voice is everything. So I appreciate you sharing a little bit with us today. And that concludes my question.
You can't make it up. The sharing in your voice just to preclude to share. It's like, wow. I'm getting full. I'm getting full by this word salad. I really am. I'm starting to not be able to laugh so much anymore. We're not even halfway through. I needed a laugh. But it's unreal. It's really unreal. Let's go. Let's laugh some more.
I could personally hear it in her that she sounds like someone different than someone who is wanting to do better. And, as she stated, she wants to work herself back into the community that she's looking to transition into. So with that being said, I too am in agreement with, how you doing this morning, Ms. Craig?
I'm good.
That's good. My one question to you, having to complete the 321J program and getting some classes and groups to help better you today than you were yesterday. If you were to characterize who Terry Craig is today, then from what we knew or didn't know of Ms. Craig in the past, what could you tell us about Terry Craig today as you potentially prepare for transitioning to this new employment and future endeavors, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It's a very good question. It's a very hard question.
Someone thinks it's a good.
I think it's always hard when you have to try to sell yourself, so to speak, and I know I'm a very hardworking individual. I'm very honest.
Did we? Let me see. Hold on.
No, I'm one now. 3 years ago, I can do stuff. What are you getting?
I didn't.
No, the thing that I will share with you that come across, and it's been coming across since you've been speaking to us this morning, is that I get a sense of humility.
Of course.
And that's what I'm coming away with from your sharing.
He
So
said that to
that was my question. Thank you. I also like, even though one of my favorite questions to ask people is the values, and I didn't get what your values were, but I got a kind of an understanding of what some.
All right. Oh. Oh my God. Yeah, I had, like I said, I had a couple extra things in there. I just grabbed it. This was, oh my God. And, he repeats the same thing, the same lines. They all actually repeat the same lines. I see that you have values now that you didn't have back then before you knew who you were back. Like, if you actually write down what he says, which I sometimes do, it's really remarkable. You could really sum up everything he says in about 3 or 4 words. He can go on for paragraphs, and he talks so slowly. Parole hearings that he leads, where he's the one to talk to the inmate, they're always longer, much longer, 10, 15 minutes longer at least. He'll usually do this opening statement and it's like he wants to hear himself talk, and he rubs his belly when he talks, and he rubs his chest, and he goes like, "Tell me, hi, I am Moses. On my left is Renee. On her left is Bob. We are going to have a conversation about what it was you were before yesterday, and what it would be tomorrow if you were to perceive it." And I can't even make it up. He's too good at what he does. Do you want to see more? I can go through like the past, I don't know, year of Iowa parole hearings and make like a 1 hour, 2 hour clip of just him saying the absolute most ridiculous things. And in the context of, he's often saying it to the most horrible of criminals. He'll say these things even after hearing a victim crying her eyes out, and then he'll go on to this monologue about how this inmate who lied about the crime during the parole hearing, who showed no accountability, who had no empathy, who's did the worst type of offenses, and he'll talk about how that person now has more values today than he did yesterday or before the day of the crime, which happened yesterday but will be in the future today. Anyways, hope you had a laugh.